Good morning. So we are going to get back to making these videos for the little house. I haven't been on that for a while. You know, I've taken a break and lost interest in the YouTube for a little bit. Now we're getting back on it. You know, I just did a series of videos where I went to the Philippines and had a great time over there. Now I'm back. It's winter time here. We're going to get these videos worked out. I'm trying to figure out my footage. It's all a mismatch of all kinds of weird footage. I'm going to try to put together and finish up that series on the house. Then I have another really cool project I've been working on that we'll get to after that. Okay, enjoy the video. So laser levels are nice, but you know what? You can do everything still with a string line, the old-fashioned way. Okay, so for the first course, we're trying to find kind of wider ones. We're going to set that right on there, bring it right down to that string line, and nail it. So you might want to Okay, now we're moving on the, you can see we have a little shade right here. We're going to work on the front until the sun comes around, then move around the back and the sides. But Charles has got the air nailer going now, so things are moving much faster. Oh yeah, that's more better. Okay, good morning. It is about 8 o'clock in the morning here on October 17th. So, you know, it's been 81 degrees here lately. It's supposed to cool down today and be about 65. So that'll be a nice break. So let's just take a look at where we are on this little project on the siding here. So you can see Charles and I got most of the siding on this little section here. We have our bottom row all doubled up and everything looks like it's turning out really nicely. So I'm gonna get this last little trim piece that goes on the top here, finish up that, the other end there, and then start the hardy board that goes up above. Charles is gonna wrap up this side, but we're probably gonna work on the far side this morning. We're working on that side in the morning when the sun is over here, coming back over here, and working on that when the sun is over there. So I'm gonna get busy on that. So today's also a big day out in the front. We have the water district coming out to put our new meter in. So that's a big deal. Once we get that, we've already had our inspection for the water line. It's all buried. They just have to put in a new meter and we have to hook up the main at the street. So that's a big deal on this project. Looking forward to that today. Okay, we are in the shop here to do the little horizontal pieces to finish off the cedar siding. So we're gonna do a trim piece. It's kind of wide. It's actually 2 inches wide, but that makes us keep the 5-inch exposure on what's on the house. So we're just doing, it's just basically a little teeny shingle wedge. Looks like a little wedge that we're gonna do up along that top edge and trim that off. And I went and bought the nicest piece of cedar I could find over at Home Depot and milled that down. I'm just gonna leave the saw marks because this is kind of looks supposedly a little rough. I'm gonna mill these down right now. Okay, so I got some of this clear Quad Max we're using here. I'm gonna caulk this piece of trim board on that I just made. So I'm gonna fill that little thing right there, and that's gonna make a nice seal. I'm gonna go ahead and put another little bead just right along the bottom, just right along this edge right here to hold it down nice. Just a small one. This is just a little glue edge here. I've got enough schmoo underneath it where it's just kind of holding itself up. And you can see my little angle now. It tips up under there, so now the water can run off onto this one and run down. We're just going to tack that up with some little finish nails. So I'll just continue that on down. I'll finish off this little section. So this is where we finished up today on the siding. So we got the front shakes pretty well all done. So over here, you know, we ruined a couple blades, just sacrificial, cutting some of that Hardy on the back. So I went and bought a real Hardy blade for the chop saw and one for my skill saw, and that's how we're going to be doing this. And I bought some nice bimetal blades here for the jigsaw. So we have the right stuff now to start cutting this Hardy and being efficient about it. So I'm going to get started changing these blades and fitting a couple of those pieces. Okay, let's see how this blade cuts this stuff. You know, I have about 15 or 20 old blades, just dull, used up, that we used in the floor biz, that I was just gonna sacrifice them, dull them out, throw them away, but I went and bought this blade. Let's just see how it works. That was pretty good. If I get that out of all these, I'm happy. Okay, so now let's see how this skill saw can work. I thought about putting this blade in my my table saw to cut these long ones, but I figure I can do it like this. We don't have that many cuts. So I'm going to go ahead and get a dust mask and some eye protection. All right, so there's the first piece around a window. It's pretty good. My gap along the bottom's a little bigger than I like. I cut on the wrong side of the line, but nothing that little caulk won't fix. All right, let's just take a walk around this, see where we ended up here today. So we got the siding pretty well up around the window a little bit. Charles is back here. He's got one more row to go here on the shakes, and then they will be all done. Come around the front. So we have the shakes all in, the trim boards, I think you've seen all that. Then we come around this side, and the shakes are all done, the trim boards are in, and we have our first starter row underneath that window. So I got to run to Home Depot. We're out of caulk. I'm going to get some more caulk, come back here first thing in the morning. We're going to start working on the top part of that siding. So that's where we're at right now. We're going to get busy here today and see what we can get done. Well, first step this morning, I'm going to move all this scaffolding along this side so we can continue up that wall. Okay, we're back on this gabled end this morning. You can see we have a rainy, wet day here in the Great North Woods. So we got a little system here. Charles is calling numbers out and I'm doing the cutting. He's nailing and calling numbers out. So not much to see here. I think I'll just put it on fast motion and let this fly. Okay, well, we are back on the little house project for a little while here. It's Saturday. We finished the floor this week. So let's just take a look around where we are here. So we are finishing up the siding up on this gabled end right here. We're going to try to get this painted in the next week or so. Hopefully, if the weather holds out. It's been raining a lot. So our little system is, Charles is just shooting down measurements to me. I'm handing up to him, and he is nailing them on. So we're going to finish this gabled end. I think I've already shown you. The back is done. The other side is done. Then we're going to move around and do the front. We're transferring those lines up. I picked up one of them cheap little palm nailers for getting up underneath that overhang. I don't think Charles is a big fan.
Big fan of what?
That palm nailer.
Why?
I like it. You need the 6-foot ladder.
Huh?
You need the other 6-foot ladder so you can get higher. So that door, I've got 3 little dowel pins I need to put in to fill those holes in the bottom there. Well, it looks like we got the last couple of pieces going in. Charles is on the ladder, on the scaffolding. Okay, this side is all done. Charles is just finishing up a little caulking around the door. Then this side is all caulked in, sided. We're gonna move around the front and finish this up tomorrow. Hey everybody, we are back on this little ADU project here. We got held up doing a bunch of other stuff. I haven't been filming regularly, so let's just take a look around at where we're at. I'm not sure if I got any of the painting, but you know, we got 2 sides of it painted. So the siding's all on. We got a couple of coats on this. We'll do one more coat in the spring, but we got bit by some really nasty weather. Today's a nice sunny day, so we kind of unveiled everything just to let it dry out. So you can see we have 2 coats. You see the color. Charles picked that green, and I kind of like it. The nice shakes, and so we don't have the trim painted yet. It's going to all be white trim. So that's where we are on the outside, and we're really not going to go much further on this until next spring on the outside. But on the inside, let's take a look around. So in here, you can see we have all the can lights hanging, and they are wired up. We have just temporary power to all those, so we have some temporary power in here. We have the whole crew working today. So we have Stephanie over there caulking up the bird blocks on the inside, just so no vermin or rodents can get in here. Charles is up there working on the wiring. And there's Steffi over there. Say hello, Steffi.
Hi.
Stephanie's on the crew now. She's helping us out. So what I'm doing is I'm redoing this drain over here where we did the siding, and the siding nails stuck through. They poked through the drain. So I'm redoing that and reconfiguring it a little bit, making it a little bit better. That's what I'm working on right this minute. But what I have been working on, as you can see, I have my little plumbing kit out. So that lead right there is for the fire suppression. Here's my cold. I have my spigot outside, and I bring it up high. I like my outside spigots or hose bib. I like them high instead of getting on my hands and knees to put them on. So, and there's my main run of plumbing, and it's gonna run over to the hot water heater here with the expansion tank on top. So that's kind of what I've been working on, and I'll get together and show you a little of that. I'm not a real plumber. I've actually had to take things apart a couple times. You can see we're doing all this with Schedule L copper tubing, which is pretty much the best stuff you can get. I'm not really a PEX guy. I don't know how to do it very well, but I do know how to do this a little bit. So that's what we're working on. So that's where we are right now, a little update on the project, and I'll try to get a little more footage of what we got going on here in the future.